Welcome back to What's Your Skincare Routine with LeAura Luciano. I am so excited to re-release a special episode featuring Aliett Buttelman and Nina LaBruna, the visionary co-founders of Fazit, the brand behind those iconic faux freckle patches that Taylor Swift has been spotted wearing. Since we last spoke, Taylor has just dropped her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, which is already breaking sales records and captivating fans with glamorous and show-stopping vibes. And just days ago, Taylor was once again spotted wearing Fazit products, her beloved gold glitter freckles, reigniting excitement and buzz across the internet, Fazit community, and beyond. This time last year, Taylor first wore the iconic faux freckles in gold glitter to a Kansas City Chiefs game, and it was huge for the brand. Now, literally 1 year later, Taylor has been photoed wearing them yet again on her own Instagram. And the Fazit founders have been sharing their reactions, capturing the raw emotion, screaming, shaking, crying in the group chat all together, and just marveling at history repeating itself. So they built this brand from their kitchens, and they shared with me the chaos, the sleepless nights, the sticky notes on mirrors. And now Taylor is wearing their famous freckles again without tags, without announcements. So in the episode, we talked about the Taylor Swift effect. And when Taylor first wore their glitter freckles last year, sales, of course, skyrocketed within 48 hours. And this propelled Fazit into the beauty spotlight even further. But as Aliett and Nina wisely noted, the real story isn't just the moment Taylor Swift wears the product, it's what the brand does next. Since then, Fazit has expanded into 6,000 stores, including CVS, Target, Walmart, and partnered with major brands like e.l.f. Cosmetics and Puma, and also prepared for international expansion. They've hosted pop-ups across major cities, embedded themselves into sports culture, and launched new collections all along the way. This journey from a kitchen startup to a projected $40 million brand in 2025 is a masterclass in readiness and strategic growth. For founders and brands, this is a lesson in how a major celebrity moment can transform a business overnight. But sustaining and growing that momentum requires vision, hard work, and smart partnerships. Aliett and Nina are busier than ever building their empire. I hope to bring them back for a full update soon, but in the meantime, this re-release offers a behind-the-scenes look at Fazit's viral success, Taylor's latest beauty moments, and expert insights on how to prepare for and leverage virality and monumental moments like this. So whether you're a longtime Swiftie, a beauty industry enthusiast, or an aspiring entrepreneur, stay tuned for the full episode with Fazit's inspiring founders. Imagine your brand suddenly skyrocketing because Taylor Swift wears your product. That happened for Aliett Buttelman and Nina LaBruna, the brilliant minds behind Fazit Beauty. Launched in 2022, Fazit's claim to fame then was their innovative skincare patches, oversized acne patches, scar smoothing silicone, and even ingrown hair tamers. They quickly built a devoted social media following on Instagram and TikTok alike, racking up over hundreds of millions of views. In October 2024, Taylor Swift was spotted sporting Fazit's faux freckle makeup patches at a Kansas City Chiefs game. The internet exploded. Their website traffic went through the roof, and they hit over 1 million in sales in just 48 hours. Now, Fazit is taking over the aisles at some of your favorite retailers like CVS, Urban Outfitters, Amazon, and more to come. But the real question is what it's like to create a brand that catches the eye of a global superstar, and what are the lessons and tips for entrepreneurs and beauty lovers alike? Let's get the scoop straight from the source. Welcome, Aliett Buttelman and Nina LaBruna, founders of Fazit. Welcome.
Thank you.
There's been a lot of buzz about Fazit when it comes to the makeup patches, but I kind of want to step a little bit back and talk about the origins and how you two met and how you decided to partner and start a beauty brand together.
Yeah. Go ahead. Ina. So, yeah, Aliett and I have been working together for 6+ years. I had just graduated NYU, and Aliett was graduating Columbia when we decided to conjoin together. A friend introduced us. I had just started a skincare company, and Aliett had started a consulting agency. So he said, "You are my only two friends post grad who are kind of doing your own thing. And I feel like you could really help each other out." So we met and we started this work relationship. And Aliett began helping me with my first company, LaBruna Skincare. And we worked so well together and over time created a bond and a friendship and a trust. And that's when about 2 years ago, we decided we're going to put that company on the side and do something where we're really partners, where we can conjoin our visions and make our own brand together with, both of our intentions behind it. And that's how Fazit formed about 2 years ago.
I became familiar with Fazit because of the skincare element. So I wanted to hear a little bit about the origins and why you decided to start Fazit specifically and what products you launched with.
Yeah, Nina and I were super interested in creating a different type of format of the application, first skincare, and we were introduced to the world of dermal patches and we're really interested in the before and after results of them, how effective yet inexpensive they were. So our first products were dermal patches for skincare concerns, specifically bumps and blemishes. So we launched the first ingrown hair bikini line patch that was infused with amazing ingredients that both extract the ingrown but also are fading hyperpigmentation along the bikini line that can be easily irritated from hair removal. We launched the first silicone acne scar patch that was the most inexpensive and effective format of reducing acne scars post cystic acne, along with pimple patches and nose pore patches. But back in April of 2024, we launched the first ever makeup patch, and that was really inspired by different format of applying cosmetics like we did with skincare, this before and after results that was instantly satisfying to watch in short form video content. You can see these before and after results on camera where a lot of our community lives and breathes beauty, which is, short form content like TikTok and Instagram Reels. And we were taking the mission of different application format for beauty. And when we launched it, we really didn't know how it was going to go over with our community because we had introduced them to this world of progress over perfection, of, we all have bumps and blemishes. Let's embrace it together. Here are effective products while you take care of them. And makeup really just hit the gold mine for us. Our customer already loved experimenting with their beauty looks. A lot of them had already been struggling with their skin and used makeup as a way of covering or expressing themselves. And that's what we were aiming to do with our makeup patches, of experimenting with your look, having bold statement looks without makeup artist skills.
Okay, so we're talking about the makeup patches, and I happen to have that right here.
Oh,
And
yay.
I've been very precious about it. One of my goals this year was to be a little bit less precious and use the fun products every day a little bit. I know these are maybe seen as maybe special occasion accessories or beautifying product. I think why not? Why not make a bold statement every day? So I also noticed something that I wanted to ask you was a little bit about how you apply it, but also I wanted to call out that there are 6 in each pack, right?
Yeah.
And I think you offer a great value. And I want to ask you about all the retailers and where you're available. But can you speak to a little bit about the nature of such an innovative product? Because we've seen lots of things in the market that might be trendy, but kind of might be here and gone in a few moments. Where was the inspiration for these are the gold speckles, right? So glitter freckles or freckles in a temporary but long wear kind of way. What is the inspiration behind that?
Yeah. So Aliett and I were brainstorming about how we could expand in the dermal patch space. And we came up with an idea of going more into makeup, cosmetics, something bolder, as Aliett had just said. So I was looking at trends online and saw the freckle trend that everyone was doing last year with broccoli and just hand drawn freckles on their face. And I personally love freckles. I have them naturally. And I thought, I love in the summer when I get more freckles, even though it's not the best for your skin. So why not come out with a faux freckle patch? So, freckles are hot, sun damage is not was kind of our tagline for that product. So we do have a faux freckle patch, but then I thought, why not create something even more fun and bold, and who doesn't love sparkles? Like, it just highlights your features, makes you feel pretty. So that kind of concept was forming. We got samples made. I tried them on, and the reactions were incredible. Just walking around the streets of New York City or LA, people coming up to me, literally stopping me on the street, asking me what they are, like, how do you put them on? How do you apply them? And everyone was so shocked to learn, like, it's such an easy 30-second application. I didn't hand draw these. I didn't stick them on manually. So I think we found that people were really surprised too to learn that 6 patches come in a pack, that you really do get like 6 wears out of this. And I kind of initially thought too, same thing you did, like, this is maybe occasion wear, but the more I wear it, the more it becomes part of like my look, and it's less shocking and it's more just my, makeup feature. And I personally wear them pretty much every day. Like, I don't have them on right now because I haven't left the house, but I almost feel like I can't leave the house without them. Like, I wear them to Pilates, I wear them to dinner. Like, you can make an occasion out of anything. Like, you could go, I'm gonna look cute for Pilates today, and like put your freckles on. And we've really been surprised, happily, by that kind of reaction of people like normalizing everyday like glitter freckles is kind of the tagline we've seen people use when they wear these patches in like their everyday occurrences. So it's been fun. And yeah, it becomes just kind of almost part of maybe like people's identity, at least for me. Like, it's part of like my fashion statement now.
Love that. So, talking about special occasions, talking about big moments, I want to talk about the moment where Fazit really blew up. And that was with Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had experienced like viral moments from the beginning of the company with, the niche demographics that our products were solutions for. And as soon as we launched the makeup patches, it was aligned with Coachella weekend too. We sent to some friends that were going, just some production samples. They posted videos that went viral. So we had a few viral moments throughout the summer and early fall when we first launched the makeup patches in 2024. But yeah, obviously Taylor Swift was a massive catalyst in putting Fazit more on this, not just national news cycle, but like international global stage that obviously we couldn't just do from our viral TikToks. I mean, her presence and her influence, just goes beyond American culture.
Yeah. So, with that initial virality, because I know there was a lot of buzz when you first launched them, and especially seeding product, whether working with influencers at Coachella or dedicated activations. What was that like for you to, get those initial viral moments? Did that impact your web traffic, or did you have to start kind of scaling up? Did you know that this was going to continue to kind of just grow and explode? And then when Taylor wore them, what shifts you had to make to support that huge demand and that huge world stage?
Yeah. I mean, we always like to say that really, like, there is luck behind this kind of blow up, but it's also a lot of work, and there's a lot of behind the scenes mechanisms in place. So Aliett really did all the right seeding to get the product around her, send them to her makeup artist. We really manifested that connection. And then from an operation standpoint, when we did see Taylor wear the freckles and we knew there was going to be a huge influx of orders, and we were already seeing it that first night, there was a lot of behind the scenes preparation that we did to make sure we wouldn't run out of inventory and that we could hold the demand that was coming in. So that included me like reaching out to our manufacturer and saying, "Hey, this just happened. We're having a blow up moment. I know our lead times are usually a few weeks, but whatever we can do to get more inventory in by end of this week so that we can make this a successful partnership, not just for us, but for you." So we really had such a great manufacturer who helped make that happen. We were expediting DHL packages in as orders were going out. It was pretty tight, but we made it happen. And we also had luckily a warehouse 3PL in place, because a month before that, I was literally packaging orders myself, like out of my apartment. So thank goodness we had that shift happen, and we had the mechanisms in place to support that kind of growth just in the nick of time. So yeah, it was preparation beforehand, and that helped us get through that.
And I forgot to ask the most important question. Are you both Swifties?
Totally.
Yeah, it was a dream come true. I mean, there couldn't have been anyone more exciting to wear them than her.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs in a variety of spaces beyond beauty, but these moments where whether you start trending on social platforms or you have a major moment like you had with Taylor Swift wearing your product, Nina, you mentioned that it's not just luck. There's work that goes in behind the scenes. There's lots of hard work and laying the groundwork for things like this to be able to happen. Do you have any advice? Well, actually, either of you, both of you, for entrepreneurs to set themselves up for success, especially in the digital age. But also, I think the example with Taylor is, like Aliett, you were saying, it's on an international level.
Yeah, I think no one ever knows if this moment is going to happen to them. And like, we're really lucky, to be on the receiving side of this moment, a cultural moment. But I think with starting a company or wanting to build a brand, it's just like one step in front of the other. It's building the processes, it's building the team out. It doesn't happen overnight. Like, we would not have been ready for this viral moment the first year we started. Like, we weren't there as a company yet to be able to support this. So I would say just starting your business, create the foundation so when success happens, you can really leverage it. And we were ready to leverage it. And when people, talk about us being a small business and things happening overnight success of Phase It, I think, yeah, it took us to a global stage the day after. But in fact, if we really were a small business, we wouldn't have been able to capitalize on this moment.
Yeah, there are these moments where, especially with beauty, and I have certain opinions, but I wanted to hear what you think as founders that certain times a product launches or, there's maybe a partnership and things, sell out really quickly, almost immediately. Did you sell out of product or were you able to kind of scale to the occasion for lack of a better phrase?
I
Yeah,
mean,
we were able to scale and to work with our team to make sure that we didn't run out of stock. So our manufacturer, increased their workforce overnight just to make that happen. Same with our 3PL. And we did not run out of stock, which was pretty incredible considering the order volume increase we experienced.
yeah, and I think people you love to use, like in marketing, sell out as this like buzzy term to like generate, 1,000 people wait lists or create demand. And I think it's actually more impressive that we didn't sell out. It's not because of the lack of demand and orders that were happening. I mean, we did 7 figures in 48 hours. It was like that we had the operations in place in order to sustain and continue scaling, like while the momentum was happening. I mean, like, she wore the product the first week of October. 2 weeks later, she was starting the Eras tour. And then 2 weeks later is Halloween. So there were like so many different occasions. And this wasn't just like a blimp of time, like this overnight trend fad or like, phase it explosion. We had we still have them that are like continuously buying. And Nina did a great job operationally that like, she calls all of our teams and has them literally hiring that night and doubling the sizes of their teams in order to help support us.
I mean, this is such a kick-ass story. I'm going to just try to keep myself on task because I think what you have been able to do within beauty, especially, is really, I think, really take this opportunity, not just in sales, not just in traffic, but also to leverage it. I'm not sure what your initial goals were, but you probably were in front of a lot more decision makers at maybe doors that you wanted to be in. Could you talk about maybe getting more access to whether it's retailers or other platforms that you wanted to be a part of? Did that have an impact? And how did you leverage that? How were you able to further leverage that moment, of course, beyond sales?
Yeah, I mean, like I think what a lot of people don't know is like the pre-Taylor moments of like, we were like on track to hit the goals we wanted to for 2024 and be in the retailers we wanted to. We had already secured CVS as our first mass retailer. We were nationwide at Urban Outfitters. Nina and I are very aligned of like what the goals and directions we want Phase It to move in. And it hasn't really shifted since Taylor. what she did is she allowed us to really have more voice and have a seat at the table with these retailers and be able to kind of demand exactly what we wanted out of this moment. And we had all of the power for the first time before. I mean, we're two young female founders in our 20s where, easily we get shut down in a lot of different rooms. And for the first time, we told people exactly how things were going to happen, which was the most amazing feeling ever. But I remember like 24 hours into Taylor wearing the product, I had called a friend who is a founder of the fastest growing brand at Sephora. And I said, what am I missing? Like, what do we need to tackle during this moment? I think I'm doing all the right things. And she said to me, hire a publicist, which we had already done. And she was like, you take this to land the retailer of your dreams and you ask for whatever you want. So the next day, the retailer of our dreams, who we had been talking to for about a year, actually emailed us and they were like, we know what's happening. We walked into our boss's office and we told them how we're going to make this happen. We're going to launch you in 6 weeks. And we're going to give you an end cap. And they basically met every single term that we wanted. And I mean, that was a feeling that one, like retail relationships take a year, from discussion to in store, and somebody wanted to put us in weeks. Like they understood the power of this moment, how they could also capitalize on it. So, I mean, it's been an amazing experience. And I mean, Nina and I, after all the rejection we faced in the early days, I mean, good job, Nina.
Yeah. It's nice to have a seat at the table and have leverage now.
Absolutely. That's incredible. I do just want to ask, a little bit more about Taylor, but then I do want to ask you a variety of other things like your own personal skincare routines, because you are both absolutely glowing. But I just really want to underscore this because I feel like there are so many people that really see the magic of the moment, the highlight reel, and they're like, oh, wow, that's so lucky for them. But how did Taylor come upon the brand, if you can share any insights? Because I really want people to understand the steps that it takes and maybe the sort of unknown variables. You may be seeding product, you may be gifting, whether it's influencers, but also other decision makers or influential people, and you kind of don't know what happens. So can you share a little bit of insight into that?
Yeah. It's funny, like I think as like a young girl and like, in my early, teenage to early 20s years, I thought like people create opportunities for you. And I didn't realize you actually have to open your own door and walk through it. And I think this goes in hand with our strategy. Like a celebrity's not just gonna unless you're really lucky, stumble across your product. Like manifesting doesn't work just like that. Like there's a lot of steps in place to make things happen. And, again, like this going back to like not an overnight success. So like we had real strategies in place to make sure our product and Phase It was in front of Taylor every which way. And it started with, I reached out to her makeup artist. She only works with one. We sent her products back in May of 2024. She didn't wear it till October. Sabrina Carpenter was opening for her in the last leg of her tour. We sent to her team. So I was like, maybe she sees it on Sabrina Carpenter and she likes it so much that she wants to wear it. I mean, the psychology behind this. There is psychology behind influencer marketing, everybody. Then I was like, okay, well, she's at the Chiefs games in the fall. Maybe if the other wives and girlfriends in the VIP box are wearing it, Taylor will see it and she'll love it. So we had all these different strategies in place to make sure Phase It was all around her. Maybe it was one of those strategies. Maybe, she saw Phase It at Coachella when she was there with Travis. Maybe she saw one of our viral TikToks or Instagram reels. So it could have been anything. But we were very intentional about what we were going to do in order to get it in front of her.
That's incredible. Have any of your strategies changed? I know you had strategies for growth and expansion in place, but since this particular moment, have they changed or are you staying on track?
Yeah, I mean, our company grew really quickly overnight. I mean, we went from a small business to more of a growth stage company. Our team has gotten larger. As much as I think scrappy strategies are what have made Phase It what it is today, you can keep that essence of who you are as entrepreneurs and what your company is, because I think that's how you kind of stay relevant and pay for things. But I think you have to start becoming more organized. And, Nina and I are learning leadership skills for the first time. We're now dealing with a team and the politics of employees and how to be a great role model. So we're learning that and setting real processes in place within your company. So there is organization and there is structure to hit short-term, medium, and long-term goals for the year. So things are a little different. We're trying to slow down the pace of things where with each product launch, for example, we're giving ourselves enough time to create strategies before actually launching the product and being able to test these different marketing strategies. Because before we were like, it's go time, like we're going to launch something, we're not getting production samples, we're going to put it out into the world, we don't have content on this yet, and we were working backwards always. So for the first time, we're like actually giving ourselves time to be even more intentional about like what we're putting out into the world. And we also have a lot more eyeballs on us than we ever did before. So we're having to be a lot more careful with decision making.
That's great. I have another 10 questions based on that. But I want to ask you both about your skincare routine because this is something we always talk about. This is one of my favorite topics. I don't know, Nina, if you want to start. Do you have any concerns? Or if you want to keep them private, I respect that. But kind of walk us through your skincare routine if you can.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky with my skin. It's normal, it's not too oily or too dry. I do pay a lot of attention to it though, and I love my skin regimens in the morning and at night. I do use a lot of my LaBruna skincare products. So the first company I launched, we have a nourishing face oil that's just super luxe, rich, hydrating, moisturizing, and I definitely feel like an immediate response in my skin when I put it on. So I wear that almost every day. And I've kind of gotten into like a Korean skincare kick recently. So I've been using Mixsoon pads a lot. They have these toning
I
pads that
love
are just
them.
so, yeah. Do you know those? They're so good. I also
Yes.
have been using Dr. Malexin too. He has this serum that sometimes I mix with like tanning drops. And I feel like it just gives my skin that like smooth, glowy look. I love tanning drops
Okay.
because my skin gets super pale in the winter. So it's like nice to give it a little pick me up. And then, yeah, I don't know. With makeup, I keep it pretty simple. I do love e.l.f. I like love their Halo Glow foundation. So I use that. Recently discovered Rhode, Bobbi Brown's new company. And I also love their foundation. And they have this like cheek stainer tint thing that I use. So it keeps it kind of fair. And then I always wear Chantecaille lipstick. That's my to go lipstick.
Okay. I love that. Do you have any rituals or anything? Is there anything that you do, maybe not daily, but maybe weekly or anything like that? Whether it's
Um,
facials or whether that those are DIY or if you go to an esthetician.
I've recently got into facials this year. Maybe like every 6 to 8 weeks, I get a facial just to kind of keep things feeling fresh and to also, allow me to try new products and see what estheticians are using. What else? I don't know. I love like New Face. Do you know that product? It's like little
Yes.
micromagnetic waves that help stimulate your muscles and just tighten everything. To be honest, I'm pretty lazy about using that because it does take
Okay.
like effort to charge it and to use it. But maybe once a month I do that. It does like give me my skin that like tightened feel. Of course, like washing is always like a nice ritual. But I can be really tired and a little lazy at night. So it's hard for me to stick to those more advanced tools and techniques. I wish I had more patience for that, and I'm going to try to use that more, but I'm pretty simple for the most part. I feel like I only use my tools like once in a blue moon when I take them out. I have to leave them out to use them because if they're in my cabinet, I never go searching for them.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. I get it. Yeah. And Aliett, did you have any particular rituals or do you have a strict skincare regimen or are you kind of laid back about it?
No, I'm like such a beauty junkie. You're kidding. I don't think it's vanity either. I think it's just like self-care. It's like my way of relaxing. Some people meditate. I take a bath every day. That's my thing, which is like, I think people think it's psychotic, but I'm like, it's my 45 minutes alone. So that's a big one for me. With skincare, I think Nina introduced me to the world, like real skincare. She was creating these products that were like sourcing rare ingredients, and clean beauty was like just brought to my attention for the first time. And I dealt with a lot of uneven skin tone and a lot of redness and rosacea and eczema, and really Nina's oils like cleared my skin up. I mean, they're so luxurious. And I was in a bit of like this clean skincare movement for a long time. And now I'm like complete opposite. I am into like drugstore beauty. I think with Fazit launching at CVS. And I've also realized that like beauty is marketing. So like everything is basically formulated the same, and some people just pay for more expensive packaging and upsell you. So I know that drugstore beauty can be just as great as what they're selling at Sephora or at a specialty beauty store. So I'm trying a lot of e.l.f. makeup recently, which has been, they have like fabulous formulations. In terms of skincare, Nina and I always follow the same like skincare regimen. Like we're like a little too intertwined in life.
Oh wow,
So
that's
both
really surprising.
Every time I'm like, I like this product, Aliett gets it. If she tells me she likes product, I get it, and then we just kind of stick with those products.
Yeah. But I feel like K-beauty's having like their second movement right now in the US. I think like a few years ago, like Glow Recipe and all like Soko Glam came to the US, and now like I think with TikTok we're back. I'm loving toning pads. We're obsessed with toning pads. We're trying like every Korean brand. I love like toning essence, like big on that. That micro needling serum.
The re-needle serum.
Yeah,
Ugh,
over TikTok.
That's amazing.
I mean, like we're really like TikTok junkies too. So like whatever people are all saying is great, I'm like there. Because if I walk into like Sephora or Ulta, I'm so overwhelmed. I like don't know what to buy. Like everybody has a blush. How do I know whose blush is best? So I really go to TikTok to do my beauty research and see what everyone is buying. Also, love facials more than anything. So also do facials 6 to 8 weeks. We're both getting married this year, so that's our excuse.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really like aligned in life. So Rescue Spa in New York City, I think is the best facial you're going to get, like bang for your buck. Not that it's inexpensive, but for like $175, I think it is the best facial. I mean, you see like all these like $500 estheticians in LA. And then I got a buccal facial massage recently where they put their hands in your mouth and massage you. Like
Tell me
I don't
everything.
know actually if I don't know if I liked it. And like I'm so like experiment, like I put your hands in, I don't care. But she's like massaging me for the inside out, and like I have like I keep all my stress in my jaw, but I was like, this is relaxing. This is like a little painful. So yeah, I mean that's, you know, I'm always trying new things. I feel like your skin gets used to a certain routine for a certain point, and then it almost gets too used to it that you're not seeing the same results. So I think it's good to freshen it up. I think you should freshen your beauty routines based on seasonality. My like winter and summer routine are so different. God, I love beauty.
Same. Yeah. So I have to go back to that buccal fat facial. Did you see like a before and after difference? I know maybe you didn't enjoy like that experience necessarily, but did you see like, were you more snatched?
I'm not gonna lie, I really wasn't. But when I do get, like, I like to find estheticians that do facial massage as like their main, you know, differentiating factor of a facial. And I always see results. Even when you do it at home yourself, you can see the difference between the sides of your face. But no, the buccal one, not really. But, you know, lavish experience.
Speaking of weird beauty things, Aliett and I went to Emsculpt this morning. Do you know what Emsculpt is?
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
My dad is a plastic surgeon, so he has a machine in his office. And Aliett is having her bachelorette next weekend. So we both were like, we got to tone up our bellies before that trip. That one's a weird beauty.
How did that feel? Because it's like doing, I can't remember, insert correct number of crunches for like 20 minutes or whatever.
50,000.
So how?
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. How was it? Were you sore after? What was that like?
I think it preps you for childbirth. I'm like, you're like having legitimate like contractions, like, and you're like laying down on this bed and you're like dying laughing. And then like the patterns of like whatever's happening, like the microcurrents are different. So like you'll get like tap, tap, and then it'll tap, 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 and you're like, and then you're like dying. Anyway, I haven't had a child. But I would
Yeah.
imagine childbirth is a
That's what
little
my mom
similar.
said it feels like. She has had a child and she's like, it feels like contractions. I mean, it actively contracts your muscles. Like you're just lying there and it's
Okay.
forcibly contracting your muscles.
Okay, so does this mean you're going back for more sessions or one and done?
I don't know if it works, to be honest. I mean, we were just feeling like pasty white from winter in New York, and we haven't been encouraging ourselves to go to the gym recently because it's been like
It's
17
too cold.
degrees. So, we used Daddy for his ab sculpting machine this morning.
I think it works. I've done it quite a few times. The first time I did it, I was so sore. I couldn't sit up when I woke up in the morning. Like I had to roll out of bed because my abs were so sore from it. I was hysterical. But like now that my body's used to it, I don't know if it's as effective. But the first few times you do it, it's intense.
Wow, great to know. Okay. So you're like, I mean, you're basically a pro with it. Now you're just like, you have to get bumped up to the next level. I don't know what that is,
Yeah,
but like,
I've done it quite a few times now. Definitely leveling up.
okay. So it seems like you are both equally down to try different things or the same things pretty much like together, which is pretty great. Is there anything else? I know you have, your separate wedding plans. I'd imagine it's not like a joint wedding, right? Nothing like that?
I think we did consider
Almost.
it at one point, yeah.
Like, why not save money and just do it together? Our fiancés are friends too, but no, we're not that crazy.
It would be memorable, would be unique. But yeah, I know I had so many more questions. And what's next for the brand? If there's anything you can share, I know there's several iterations, different styles. Are there going to be more products that you can speak to? Anything you can share, I'd love to know.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a pretty exciting year ahead of us. Next month alone, we're launching 7 different products. So we have lots of variety coming out. There are dream retailers being announced soon enough, and also dream partner collab. We're really leaning into this sports beauty collaboration section, so there's more to come there. But yeah, lots in the pipeline to look forward to.
Yeah, we have fun holiday drops coming, 2 new products for Valentine's Day that will be exclusive to our website and Urban Outfitters. We're launching new categories of makeup patches, which are really exciting, that I think will also be really fun for festival season. And yeah, no, there's so much still happening. Taylor was the catalyst, but really have continuously innovated within product development. We have really fun marketing collaborations that will be announced hopefully in the next few weeks and then another one in March. But yeah, no, a lot in store for Fazit.
So basically, with progress over perfection in mind, are there any lessons that you have for entrepreneurs that are coming up and, see you in stores and see all of your success? And after hearing a little bit more about your journey and your trajectory, do you have any advice or any wisdom for, whether it's women in beauty or entrepreneurs in general that you might want to impart?
I think we have a few tips that we always come back to, but my favorite is, when you look at a big picture of where you want to go, of all the goals you're setting, it can be extremely overwhelming and daunting. So breaking that apart and kind of having that bigger picture in mind. So you're always looking towards the horizon, you're looking towards the end goal, but setting smaller steps along the way that are achievable and doable, especially on a daily basis. And just getting up every day and doing those things and saying, today I'm going to achieve 10 things and tomorrow will be another 10 and the next day another 10. And over time, that collectively turns into a lot of change and a lot of work. So yeah, just being persistent, being organized and, not getting overwhelmed by the dream picture.
Love that. Any other words for us, Aliett?
Yeah, I would say find other female entrepreneurs and founders, reach out to them. They've all been where you have been. So I think most people are happy to take a call with somebody and, give them their words of wisdom. Bring on advisors or mentors onto your team to guide you along the way because they've been there before. They think it's a really isolating career. So try and surround yourself around other women who are building things just so you have a community to go back to, to share your paths, your challenges, and have a support group along the way.
That was excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you both so much for your time. I know there's a lot coming up for Phase It. So, where do you want people to find out more? How can they connect with you, Phase It Beauty, all of that?
Yeah. We are Fazit Beauty across all social channels, mostly active on Instagram and TikTok. And then Nina and I also share behind the scenes of what it's like to build a beauty company. You can find me mostly on TikTok at Aliett Butts, and then I'll share more travel and aesthetic photos on Instagram, same handle.
Yeah, and I'm just at Nina LaBruna for both TikTok and Instagram.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing all of these amazing insights. And I'm so excited to see what the rest of 2025 brings for you both and Phase It Beauty. And I'm so excited for more.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you having us.
Thank you.